Hello, my name is Corey Deal, and I'm the Marketing and Communications Coordinator for the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership. After Congress passed America's Conservation Enhancement Act, also known as the ACE Act, last week, we've had a ton of questions on social media asking us what's next. Since Schoolhouse Rock didn't cover this particular subject, I've asked the TRCP Senior Government Relations Representative, Andrew Wilkins, to join us. So, Andrew, what does happen next?
Thanks, Corey. Happy to help. It is an interesting legislative scenario, but the short answer is that the ACE Act is on its way to enactment. And in case you missed it last week, the House passed the ACE Act, which is a bipartisan piece of legislation that reauthorizes and establishes some important conservation programs, as well as resources that benefit deer, waterfowl, fish, as well as the Great Lakes and Chesapeake Bay watersheds. The Senate passed the bill earlier this month, so now that it's cleared Congress, the bill is on its way to the president's desk for his signature. The president has a lot on his plate, so it's important to know that there's a process for enacting legislation, even without a president's timely signature. Long story short, if legislation isn't signed or vetoed for 10 days after it's formally received by the president, it becomes law, except under a few very select circumstances that don't actually apply here. This bill has broad bipartisan support, so we fully expect the president to sign it shortly after it formally lands on his desk. But in case he doesn't get around to it, and there are certainly a lot of other things going on that demand his attention, we wanted to let you know that the ACE Act is going to be law, and hunters and anglers should start celebrating it. The bill has a lot of great things in it that we have fought hard for, but two things I'd like to highlight are the establishment of an interagency chronic wasting disease, or Cwd Task Force, and the authorization of the National Fish Habitat Partnership Program. We are way behind in our response to chronic wasting disease as a nation, and this task force is intended to get the federal agencies in charge of a response, working together, and finally on the same page. We need them all sitting in the same room, virtually otherwise, and coming up with a plan together. The National Fish Habitat Partnership Program is an incredible conservation initiative. I'm really excited about it. It conserves fish and their habitats through programs across the nation that are unique to the habitats in question. So, from the Desert Fish Habitat Partnership in the Southwest, to the Kenai Peninsula Partnership up in Alaska, and the Eastern Brook Trout Venture here on the Eastern Seaboard, this program works with local communities to come up with solutions that meet the needs of the species they're trying to conserve. It functions pretty similarly to the North American Waterfowl Management Plan, which was itself also reauthorized by this bill. So there's a lot of good stuff to celebrate in this.
Awesome, Andrew. Thank you for such a great answer to the question. And thank you, everybody who reached out asking more about the ACE Act. If anybody has any questions regarding conservation policy or news, please contact us on social media at the TRCP on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Corey Deal with the TRCP. Thank you for supporting our mission to guarantee Americans quality places to hunt and fish.